Hello and a warm welcome to Advanced Audit and Assurance, your path to AAA excellence. If you're gearing up for the AAA exam previously recognized as the P7 exam, you're at the right place. In this video, we will walk through the past exam question. Get ready, we are not just studying the past exam question, we are unlocking the secrets to decoding the scenarios, finding numerous points we can make in the exam to gain marks easily, masterfully drafting answers up to the examiner standards, and skyrocketing your chances of success in the AAA exam. Stay tuned for game-changing insights that will transform your approach and elevate your ACCA journey. Let's go ahead. In this video, that is question number 1, part B of September 2020, we will be discussing part B now. This is in continuation of question number 1, part A. Now see, it says design the principal audit procedures to be performed on the segmental information relating to the group revenue, right? We were provided with the group revenue and the segmented group revenue in the case above in the exhibits, and it says you need to design the principal audit procedures to be performed on this information, on this segmented information, right? And it carries 5 marks. Candidates, you must ensure, this is a tip for you, you must ensure that you are very well prepared for procedures. Procedures are easy, 5 easy marks. Wherever they examine in the question or in the exam, they're easy marks. You can design and tell the procedures coming in your mind, and these procedures are always easy marks in the exam. You need to practice designing and writing procedures so that you are able to gain these easy marks in the exam. All right, now one more thing you need to remember when you are answering procedures or when you're practicing the procedures during your practice time for the exam, that procedures should be case specific, number 1. All right, they should be designed in such a way, or they should be written down in such a way that they are case specific, they relate to the case given to you in the question paper. Then the second thing you need to focus on is that procedures should always start with an action verb. Yes, these two are the tips, actual tips that you need to focus on while you are practicing your audit procedures. And third, you need to focus on that the each procedure you are writing down should have an objective. It should not be like generic. It should have an objective that why you are performing such a procedure. That is that, like for example, you are doing some process or you are doing some procedure. What is the purpose of that procedure? You need to have the objective behind performing that procedure. So keep in mind, procedures should be case specific, number 1. Number 2, they should always start with an action verb. Number 3, they should always have an objective. You will have to state the objective in your procedure too. Alright, now what are the common kind of procedures that you can write down in your audit exam? First, easiest one, review, right? To review a particular document to find out some information. That information you need to describe in your procedure, which is the objective of reviewing that document, right? Then you recalculate. If they are given, if you are provided with some figures, you give a recalculate procedure to find out the totals are correct, to find out that they are matching with the other information provided, right? Then the third you can do is analyze. You can analyze the you can do analytical procedures, right? By calculating ratios, by comparing the figures with the previous year and so forth, right? Then another procedure which you can do is discuss with the management, discuss with those charged with governance, right? And the last but not the least, obtain representation. You can always obtain a representation where you are not sure about the management's conduct. You should always obtain a representation, a written representation. So we have briefly discussed a few of the procedures, that is review, recalculate, analyze, and then we have got discuss and obtain written representation, right? So now let us design our audit procedures based on this segmented information of the group revenue, right? So what I would suggest is, as we need to be case specific, we would take out this information from the case. Let's scroll down to the exhibit, and we will scroll, certainly it's on the group revenue, we will come down to the group revenue portion, and we would inspect this portion a bit. The first thing which we can do is, for the segmented revenue, is we can draft our first procedure, that we will review the financial reports, right, sent to the highest level of management. Why we are sending, or the management is sending it to the highest level of management? To confirm the basis of segmented revenue, right? Because we will make sure that the same revenue is being reported to the highest management level, and we will confirm that yes, this is the one, or this is the actual revenue which is being reported to the highest management. So it, obviously when it is being reported to the highest management, so it's going to be correct, right? And we can also further what we call describe it, that it is to be is quoted or stated in the notes to the financial statements, in the published statements, right? So let us draft our first bullet point with the procedure. So we would give a small short heading stating that audit procedures on segmented revenue, right? We were asked, this was our requirement, and we have briefly stated the requirement before answering the question, so that it becomes clear, because you need to remember that we were writing down a briefing note in this question, and this is in continuation of the briefing note which we were writing. So we will give a short heading for to make it easy for the examiner to answer. And another point I would like to make clear, that procedures need to be written down in a bullet form. You do not need to write procedures in paragraphs. They need to be short, one sentence, two sentence lines, and they need to be written down in the bullet form. Okay. So we decided we would write a review procedure first. So we will begin with review the financial statements sent to the highest level of management, right? We will review these financial statements, or financial reports, rather reports, right? We will review this, and what is the purpose behind this? To confirm, right? Now we will write down the objective behind this, to confirm the basis of segmented information reported internally, right? We will be measuring that this reported internally is in line with the segmented information given to us, and we would further confirm that and we will confirm that this is used in the notes in the published financial statements, right, provided to the stakeholders, because they are also interested in knowing what the company is doing, right? Now what else can you think of? You need to brainstorm yourself. Well, we were given a point over here. Let me scroll. That the chairman is Max Draco and his son is the company's chief executive officer, right? And his son is the company's chief executive officer. So we can draft a point that with him, that what kind of organizational structure is being followed at Crux Group, right? And we can also draft a point that this information of segmented revenue is being reviewed by the chief executive officer or not, because he is responsible for the to view this information. So let us draft these 2 points. See, we came up with two procedures. Now see, review the Crux group. We would make it case specific always, right? Review the Crux group's organizational structure, right? Now why are we reviewing this? Review the Crux group's organizational structure to confirm the identity of the chief executive, right? Chief executive officer, right? One more procedure, and now we would make another procedure related to this chief executive officer, that we would discuss with the management, right? We will discuss with the management the means of reviewing the segmented revenue, or we would say discuss with management the means of the chief executive officer's means of reviewing the segmented revenue, right? Revenue information. So we have drafted our three procedures for 5 marks. So how. See, you need to brainstorm yourself. I am always focusing on brainstorming yourself. You need to focus on thinking as many points you can make, or as many points you can draft. It's easy. You can have a look. We have drafted the first one for 2.5 lines, but this other two are rarely of one and 1.5 line. That's it. So you need to focus on what kind of points or procedures you can draft. You need to stay focused. You need to go into thinking process so that you are able to find out the information. Now one more thing which we can make is for reviewing the board minutes to confirm that the segmented information is disclosed to the board, right, or is monitored by the board. So we will make review the board minutes to confirm the segmented revenue is reported to the board, right? So see, we have drafted 4 points with this, for the procedures up till now. And what else can we do? One thing is coming in my mind. Let's scroll down. See, we are given the segmented revenue, but we can obtain a breakdown of this segmented revenue, that is Sunseeker Cruises breakdown of this, to confirm that this total of $288 million and $320 million of projected revenue from Sunseeker Cruises actually pertains to this kind or this segment, right? We can obtain a breakdown of revenue. Don't you think so? If you don't think so, still you will have to think, to make yourself perfect, to make yourself capable of passing the exam and gaining these easy marks. So let us draft a point for this one. Obtain a breakdown of the segmented revenue, right, to confirm the totals of segmented revenue are correct, right? And what else? Do you remember that we were talking about this segmented revenue? We discussed that this 15% onboard sales should be reported as a separate segment, because this, according to the standard, 10% or more or revenue derived from a source of revenue or a part of the business should be reported separately and as a segment. We discussed that in part A. Now, don't you think we can make a point for this one, that we can discuss with the management that this should have been disclosed separately and why they are not doing so, or do they intend to report this separately, right? So let us draft a point. We would say discuss with the management whether the onboard sales, right, should be reported separately. Look at the wordings, candidates, look at the wordings I'm using. It should contain audit jargon and the accounting jargon too. You need to focus on using the wordings too. Discuss with the management whether the onboard sales should be reported separately, provided it constitutes 15% of revenue, right? And no, rather it's enough, I think. We have discussed with management whether the onboard sales should be reported separately. Why we are discussing? Because it constitutes 15% of the revenue, right? I hope you are following what I am doing and what points we have discussed up till now. And what else we can do? Let us look at the figures. Because see, we are provided with the comparable figures, we will make use of analytical procedures for this, right? And we would find out the increase in revenue is in line with the revenue in the upcoming year or not. In the previous year's increase in revenue is in line with the coming year projected figures or not, right? So we can draft a point for this one, that perform a analytical procedure, right? Now why we have told why that we are going to perform analytical procedure, but we haven't told what purpose or objective is behind it. So we would say that to determine the trends, right, to determine the trends for each segment and discuss any unusual pattern with the management, right? I hope you're following what we have done. Now see, we have drafted how many points? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points. Candidates for 5 marks, we have drafted 7 points. So don't you think we should, we have got enough points to cover up in the exam? If you're not able to think of one point, you can think of the other point and write that down in your paper. Don't you think so? So let's end this video of a part B right now. And I know it is a short video because part B was only based on procedures, and we have completed our procedures on the segmented revenue in this portion. And I've told you how to draft your answer for the procedure, how to draft a procedure. And see, it's 5 marks only and 5 procedures. That's it, 1 mark per procedure. And each procedure should begin with a verb, should be case specific, and further it should be objective. It should state the objective behind performing that action, right? So we have done this thing in this procedures which we have designed or drafted. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we have drafted 7 procedures on segmented revenue out of 5 which we were supposed to mention. And remember, always remember, don't go an extra mile ahead. You will waste your time. If the question tells you 5 marks for 5 procedures, don't go for the 6th one. Just mention 5 procedures. Always select the best procedure you can draft or you can write down. That is, if you're not sure about a procedure, don't waste your time practicing, or don't waste your time trying to make a procedure from that one. Rather, move ahead, carry on your work and make procedures, or write on the procedures you are definite or you are sure that yes, this is a procedure and I should proceed with this one, so that you save your time in the exam hall and you're able to gain marks too. Okay, alright, for now, have a good day, take care. We will continue with part C of this same question in the next video. Thank you, take care. Towards the end of this video, you need to remember, greatness doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of continuous effort, boundless curiosity, and a thirst for improvement. Investing time in these videos and engaging with past AAA exam questions is an investment in the brighter future you're shaping up. Keep your focus sharp, your learning continuous, and your eyes focused on your goals. Best of luck as you navigate your studies. May your dedication lead you to success in the AAA exam.